Dun, dun, dun. Hello out there, Rebel Writers. We're going to give the Facebook bots a minute to let you all know that we are here live, and I'm going to double check things. There we are. I've got my two screens going. So I am going to start this. We're going to give the Facebook mute it. There we are. Okay, beautiful. I am so excited to be with you all live today in the Rebel Writers group. And for those of you who are maybe watching later on YouTube or any other time and place, because, you know, what is time? I just am so excited to be with my mentor, my dear friend, my colleague, the beautiful songstress, Maria Hartsong today. Welcome, Maria. I'm so excited that we are going to get to dive into this conversation about the importance of expressing what is in our hearts. So welcome.
Thank you so much. And you are equally a mentor to me, Renee. It feels like we are soul sisters that keep supporting each other to grow and expand. And for that, I'm so grateful. And I'm excited to be here in your beautiful community. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Those of you who are joining us live, feel free to say hello in the comments. We want to know you're here. We can feel you out there. It's beautiful. Let me formally kind of introduce Maria. So Maria and I have known each other for a few years now, maybe 4 years. I don't know. It's beautiful. And we clicked immediately. You know, we are definitely soul sisters. Music is important to us. Supporting others and expressing themselves is important to us. We share so many passions and gifts and talents, and fears. Let's be real. We have, you know, a lot of the same things kind of, you know, trip us up from time to time, which is why, you know, being in this like co-mentorship relationship with you and this deep friendship is so meaningful to me, because, you know, without Maria being brave enough to step into her gifts of song, of channeling this wisdom, of really holding space for her clients to tap into what is authentically theirs and be able to safely and bravely express it. Without that, I don't think I would be where I am today. And so I am eternally grateful, for you stepping into your empowered wisdom and action to, you know, to dance with the fear, to dance with the doubt, as you step into this co-creation of, you know, really the up level of our world as a whole, right? And we do that one by one. So I guess that's the formal introduction.
Okay. So let's get real here. The truth is, people, that Renee, being somewhat similar in her escaping patterns as me, she was the one who busted me and demanded that I would have a session with her, a discovery call with her, and it was her yes to my program that made me actually dare to do it. So with that said, we really need each other on this path of awakening, of becoming more of who we are here to be, becoming ourselves, remembering who we are. So thank you, infinitely grateful for you, Renee.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, we'll just continue this love fest, because I'm so excited about what's coming up for you. One of the things that you've mentioned to me before, and and I've heard is this quote from Wayne Dyer. That's something like, don't die with the music, or don't die with the song still left inside of you. And I feel that, you know, viscerally, and I want to hear about your experience with that, because I think it would be really helpful, not only for people who have literal music inside of them, but for all my rebel writers here whose music comes in the form of stories, or, you know, speeches and talks and business, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell me about your experience. What happened when you first heard that phrase? What spoke to you the most?
Well, when I first heard that phrase, it has worked for me several times. When I first heard that phrase, it was like this strong reminder, okay, you really need to take this music that keeps coming to you seriously.
Mm.
And I think that was around the time when we got to know each other and in a coaching program. And I started, or maybe a little bit before that, I started to practice bringing this gift in safe spaces or semi-safe spaces. Sometimes I put myself on the spot. I remember singing a song in a big space with around maybe 500 people. Um, and that was very scary, but it was like this inner push.
Mm.
Uh, I've been co-creating songs with Spirit more than 20 years. Uh, it came as a rescue for me when I was in a very dark place. This voice inside that said, you have songs inside of you, or I have songs inside of me. So I've been having this thing, like in the Rebel Writers group, you might have manuscripts that you have been working on for years, or ideas or projects that you really poured your heart into, but something made you put that aside. Maybe like me, when I have time and money, I will pursue this. That was the thing for me. Uh, but then I started to take this more seriously, and I started to share songs, and I always was received so beautifully, and people really loved hearing the songs. But I wasn't quite ready because I had a lot of cultural conditioning from Scandinavia and a lot of other things. But there we have a law called Jantelagen, the law of Jante, which basically means that you should only blend in, you should never stand out, and you
Mm.
should not believe that you are amount to anything, like you're nothing worth, basically. And that is some heavy cultural conditioning to bust through. The second time that this quote really it hit me, it was last year when I heard it again. And then I really felt like I can't fool around with this anymore. I need to really honor that my soul, this is my belief system, it doesn't have to be yours. I really need to honor that my soul very carefully picked this particular gift to come here this time. And I need to receive it and say a full body yes to it.
Mm.
That's what I did last year. I was coming up to my birthday, and a funny thing is, like, on my birthday, I have allowed myself, not every birthday, but some of the birthdays, I have allowed myself to share one of my songs on Facebook. It's like, and that should tell me something. Like, this is important if I do that as a gift to myself
Mm.
almost every year. So then what I did, I did this really solid conscious choice. And I remember I spoke to the universe, like, okay, I'm a full body yes now to being myself, to dare to be seen with this gift, because uh, it asked me to stand out. Like, the contradiction to my cultural upbringing. And so I've taken it slow, one step after another, started to collaborate with different musicians, because that has been the thing for me. I've been lone wolfing this music for quite some time, and because it has felt so vulnerable for me, and it still is. But that was like Wayne Dyer coming again to my rescue, and like, okay, are you going to, because that was really the thought that came, like, shit, if I die in a car accident tomorrow, well, probably the sound files on my phone might be found, but all those gifts will not have reached the people who need them. And I have not enjoyed it, because that is also what the quote continues with, like, I don't know exactly how he says it now, but something around that, don't die. Yeah, here it is. Don't die feeling as if your life has been wrong. Don't die with your purpose unfulfilled. And that was the thing that really made it hit home for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, that's so powerful. And one of the things that I know that that I'm hearing, and I'm hearing it so clearly today, is this piece about taking it seriously. Which doesn't mean you can't have fun or, whatever, but and receiving it, right?
Yeah.
You have this gift, this beautiful gift. And I can tell you all firsthand that when you hear Maria's songs, you are transported, you are transformed. I have been moved many, many times to tears and totally inspired by what has come through you. And so it really is almost like shifting this perspective of, well, it's kind of selfish if you don't put it out there. Like, who are you to hang on to this and not let other people feel what you feel through this music, to receive what they need through this music? And there's something to be said for all of us, as it is scary to step into fully who we are, the pieces of our gifts, especially if we don't even know like how it's all gonna be.
Yeah.
But that's 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 just it. We don't have to know how, and we have
Not
to
our job even.
right, right, right. And I love that you really spoke to stepping into that, the full body yes, taking it seriously, and honoring. It really is honoring the gift and honoring what that gift provides others, and what you've been able to move through and overcome and transform at each level of the creation.
Yeah, and that is something that we bring with us with our gifts. And just for the record, every gift is equally valuable. There's no measurement. And sometimes we don't even realize that it is our gift because it comes so easily for us. I have been going into comparisons so much. So I just feel it's important to say. And what did you say? Because that was a detour that made me forget what you said. I was going someplace.
Well, I don't know. Um,
Okay, in the
I
moment.
mean, the comparison piece is important.
Yeah,
But the stepping, stepping into like and honoring the gifts.
yeah. Mm.
If, yeah.
And we also have to honor our own journey with it. Know, I mean, I could go on all day beating myself up. Why didn't I choose differently? I could have had this musical career. I could have worked with what I love all these 20 years. But I know that I wasn't ready before. I needed this time. And yeah, now I know where I was going. We bring we bring our journey also with our gifts, the frequency that comes out of us, be it a book, be it a theater play, be it a song, a poem. We bring that wisdom and experience and presence with the actual thing that we create.
Mhm.
So, and I know that I could not bring the frequency, the energy that needed to be brought through before now, like before this time.
Yeah.
I needed to grow and mature, and I needed also to understand the mechanisms of fear and how we hold ourselves back,
Mm.
how we separate ourselves from one another by comparison, by uh, shaming ourselves, judging ourselves and others, how jealousy is playing a role, holding us back. I needed all those learnings before I could do what I'm doing now. Um, so we need to be compassionate with our journey and know that we are exactly where we need to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love
The
that.
record, for the record, before this conversation, I was freaking out. Uh, I and it's not because I'm afraid to speak to you, Renee, uh, but because there's so many processes going on now for me, taking one more bold step into the unknown with this, what I'm here to bring in this time.
Mhm.
So I was prepared to come here like in tears and shrink down and just let's not do this. And that is part of the journey, and that is also important when we see people show up in their gifts and their brilliance. I've started to understand this last couple of years, that everyone that you see showing up, they have been through this portals, initiations of fear, of self-abandonment, of shame spirals, all of it. It
Yeah.
doesn't go away,
Yeah.
but we learn to dance with it. We learn to come through the other side, and sometimes we show up vulnerably and just share from that space also.
Mhm. Mhm. It's so true. Everyone you see has, is I like that the way you put it, dancing, right? Dancing with the fear in one way or another. They're showing and they're showing up anyway.
Mm.
And that's really all we can ask of ourselves, is to continue to courageously and bravely show up so that um you know not just to give our gifts, but it's it's so symbiotic, right? It's both our own journey, and this is what I always continue to come back to, right? We have to do the inner work to see the outer change, right?
Absolutely.
As above, so below. We are mirrors to one another. And we can't do this kind of work without dancing with the fear, without the things that really want to keep us safe and hold us, back from whatever possibility, unknown, potential is out there. And what I think you and I have been able to discover is that despite the fear being real and us stepping into things where the outcome is totally unknown, that too is the adventure, because what if it's all amazing? What if it all works out? And every bold step that we take, every bold step that, you out there listening to this conversation right now have taken, is bringing you one step closer to the fullness of who you are and the fullness of this life experience that we can have. So
I love that.
yeah, honoring us all.
Yeah, being fully alive. Mm.
Yeah, fully alive.
Mm.
So we are coming up on our winter solstice
Yes.
next week. And you have a beautiful gift for all of us. Tell us about what's happening next week. And I'm excited. I'm going to be there. I already know that.
Yeah, I love that you will be there. So I have been working on this song, Lighthouse, that came through in 2020 as energetic support for these times, I believe. And I've known that this song is not only my song, it is to reach many people. So it has been a journey for Lighthouse to find its way. And now I've been working with a brilliant producer and musician, and Theo, that has created this musical landscape around the song that is absolutely amazing. And so already earlier this autumn, I heard like Lighthouse will be released on the winter solstice. And so and that gave me plenty of time, because that was maybe in September or early October or something. And so then I started to contemplate, what can I create to share a little bit about my experiences around really saying yes, daring to shine my light, and also sharing experiences from clients. So I am hosting a free event called Activate Your Light on the winter solstice. And during that event, you will receive this transmission, and we will also create, this is a powerful portal day with a lot of light coming in. And we will create this vortex of light that will support you to propel yourself into more freedom, into more purpose. And if you're ready, and if you want to connect you more deeply to your higher self, so that you can be more confident as you take your brave steps on your journey. And we will play the song. And yeah, I will also invite you into possibly journeying with me with a full-length album that we have planned. So, but more about that on the event.
Wow. The perfect day to release. I've heard Lighthouse. I haven't heard this rendition.
No.
And I'm so excited. I cannot wait. And what I love is, right, the whole metaphor of the lighthouse. We have to shine our lights so that others can find the way. And I want to just kind of circle back to the beginning of when we were talking today and talking about, you know, the cultural upbringing and this idea that you can't be something better than somebody else, and how these two things together, you know, even though they seem like total opposite on the spectrum, it really is clear that the more of us we have shining our lights, the more of us can find our way. And it still is that idea of we are all equal, or we are
Yes.
all the same. And it's from a totally different perspective, not of, so don't let your light shine, so we're all the same,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
let your light
Good. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
shine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just love that. I think that's so powerful and a beautiful way to kind of wrap this conversation, because uh we have to find our inner light, and we have to be brave enough to let it shine and express ourselves fully. And that's the work you're doing here in the world, Maria, and I'm so grateful. And I just invite all of you who are feeling it to join us next week for this beautiful activation, this beautiful celebration of what's possible when we let our light shine and show others the way.
Yeah. Should we give them a snippet?
I would love to hear it.
Mm. Just a part, because you need to come to the event to hear the rest. Okay. And this is, of course, without the epic arrangements.
Right.
But here's a message for you, all of you beautiful, brave rebel riders. And I'm just adjusting a thing here. You are here to be a lighthouse, shining bright and clear. You are here to anchor in love that melts the fear. You are here to bring the magic only you can bring. Cliffhanger.
Well, I immediately welled up with tears.
Yeah, it's
It,
time.
it's time.
Mm.
We are here. We can step into the authority and the seriousness of who we are and honor it with love and creativity and joy and expansion and beauty. So much
And
beauty.
celebrate.
Yes, celebrate.
Yeah.
So much to celebrate. Congratulations to you, Maria, on this upcoming release of the full song. I can't wait to hear it. I hope all of you join us. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for bravely having this conversation. I just love you.
Love you too. And much love to all of you beautiful rebel riders.
Yes,
See you.
we see you. We love you. Take care.